It fuels our early morning, powers our rights, sharpens our minds, and sometimes it even feels like it is the only thing keep us going. But what if I told you caffeine, the world's favorite legal drug, might also be setting a trap for your brain? Yeah, you heard it right. Welcome to the Throttle and Stethoscope, where the road meets reflection and horsepower meets human nature. I'm your host, Dr. M. Ryder, aka the Road Dog Podcast, Dr. Mukund. And today's topic gonna be caffeine, Ryder's best friend or a sneaky saboteur in a coffee cup. Let's talk about it. Let me take you back to one of my early morning rides. I was heading somewhere, sun barely up, air still cold, silence all around. But before I fired up my Dominar, what did I reach for? Not the helmet first, not the gear first, but I was actually reaching for a good coffee or something related to caffeine, a tea. For most riders, caffeine is a ritual, whether it's a roadside chai at 6 a.m. or any other beverages that contains caffeine before a long highway push. We are wired to reach for that boost. And honestly, it works. It does work. Caffeine improves reaction time, focus, alertness. It literally blocks the brain chemical called adenosine, which is what makes you feel sleepy actually. That's why it feels like your eyes open wider and your grip on the handlebar tightens after just having that good sip of your favorite tea or coffee. And for riders doing endurance or night rides, small timed caffeine boost can keep you safe for sure, focused and present, absolutely. But here is the twist, we often don't stop to ask what's the cost, right? Now let's switch the lenses from throttle to the stethoscope, right? Caffeine is actually a psychoactive drug, which is pretty much legal drug. No two ways about it. It alters brain chemistry every time you drink it. So, when you consume caffeine, your body doesn't gain energy. Listen to me once again. When you consume caffeine, your body doesn't gain energy. What it does is block your fatigue signals. Pretty much. That's all it does. It just blocks your fatigue signals. Adenosine is the molecule that says, hey, come on, man, slow down, take a break. That is the thing that adenosine is supposed to do. Now, what we are doing by taking caffeine? Caffeine usually binds to those receptors and says, hey, man, now it's time to rest, and it's now the time to shut up and listen to me. You need to rest now. But guess what we will do? The moment we feel tired, we will consume caffeine. So you feel energetic. But the fatigue hasn't gone anywhere. You just can't hear it. Trust me, that's pretty much danger zone. And if you are using caffeine every day, especially in large doses, what happens in long term? Your baseline focus drops without it. You build tolerance. Your sleep becomes worse because caffeine stays in your system for 6 to 8 hours. Your cortisol spikes unnecessarily, making you more anxious and wired. For most students, creators, doctors, writers, we often think more caffeine equals to more productivity. But over time, it's less focus, less sleep, more brain fog. That's the trap I am talking about. See, after consuming caffeine for over a long period of time, you will understand that without caffeine, your brain feels sluggish and you basically in brain fog kind of a situation. And most people don't even realize that. They just think caffeine makes them happy, but no, you are just covering the underlying problem. That's all you are doing. So, yeah. So, what's the sweet spot for it? You need a solution, right? See, I am not an anti caffeine. In fact, I love my coffees and teas, but I learned to respect it. Here is what I found that works best for high performance life, like people like us, you know. I would like to have my caffeine like after I wake up, maybe approximately after 90 minutes after wake up, not immediately. So first I'll consume 2 liters of water and then walk exposed to sunlight for 10 minutes at least. And then after that, I would like to prefer a green tea, not a coffee or tea. Just prefer green tea with just some water and green tea in it. That's all. No sugars, nothing whatsoever. So, yeah, I pretty much like my morning in such a way. And if ever I want to have a cup of coffee or tea, then I usually permits or prefers to have somewhere in the afternoon, like mostly somewhere maybe around 4 p.m., something like that. That's all, or 1 p.m. It depends on how my day goes. So mostly I try to avoid caffeine after 6 p.m. as much as possible. But if I need to stay up all night and work on something, then I'll have a caffeine. But if I don't have any important or emergency work, then I completely skip the caffeine after 6 p.m. You know, after 6. So I would like to sleep around 10:30. It works. If you consume after 6 p.m. and you don't have any other significant work to do, guess what's gonna happen? Your sleep quality will slumber. You cannot sleep happily and peacefully. And guess what? You will also be very much dehydrated faster. So always remember this. You need to hydrate more than you caffeinate yourself. So there are so many days and weeks I completely skip caffeine, all sorts, including green teas. So body needs to adapt to its natural habitat, you know. That's why if I had some sort of heavy meal in any social setting, like a chicken biryani or good carbs and mixed kind of heavy food, then what I do, I'll give my body a rest day or something. So then what I am gonna focus is simply on lemon water or a little bit of mint kind of a green tea or a power nap. Mostly I would like to prefer power nap, you know. So yeah, it's all about staying sharp without selling your future alertness. Keep that in mind. All right. In the end, caffeine is neither a villain or nor a hero. It's just a tool, and every tool needs awareness. If you are a writer, student, or creator, or someone building their legacy like me, you cannot afford to be a caffeinated zombie, right? Stay conscious, sip smart. All right? Good. Thanks for tuning in into the Throttle and Stethoscope. If this episode made you rethink your coffee routine, or you got a crazy caffeine story, just comment down below or DM me. I might feature it in the next Q&A episode. And remember, real energy comes from alignment, not addiction. Okay? Ride safe, think sharp, live light. This is Dr. M. Rider, aka the Road Dog Podcast. Dr. Mukund signing off. Bye bye.